When are you gonna review Fuller House? You gotta review Fuller House. Andre, can you please review Fuller House? You got it, dude. Hi, I'm Andre and I have a review for you, Better Reviews. There will be some spoilers. If you do not want to be spoiled, leave this video, go watch 13 episodes of Fuller House like I did, and then come back and we'll see how you feel. Now, before I get into this review, I just gotta talk about something. Usually I do not read or look at reviews of shows or movies before I do them because I don't want to get anyone else's impressions in my own brain. But I kind of figured I wasn't going to have the same type of feelings towards Fuller House that I have seen some of the critics have about it. In case you haven't heard, this show is getting terrible reviews, just talking about how they don't like the show, they don't like the nostalgia, they don't like the cast, they don't like anything. What did you expect? I mean, it's a sequel to Full House. I mean, yes, we did the catchphrases, we talked about the show, we talked about TGIF, but I don't think anybody, even in the 80s, was going, you know what the highest point of television is for society nowadays? That's Full House. No, come on. And some of the metaphors and things that people are writing are just so absolutely ridiculous. I know that people are liking this because of nostalgia, so I'm gonna make this crazy college-sounding metaphor seem like I'm all intelligent. And it's like, dude, save that for the Oscar films, theater, books, you know, classical music, not freaking Full House. This is not the time to show off your academic prowess of reviewing and criticism when you talking about freaking Fuller House on Netflix. Have mercy. But that being said, there's some good things about it and some bad things about it. I'm just gonna be real with you. I love the three women in this show. Candace Cameron, Andrea Barber, and Jodie Sweetin are definitely the heart of this show. You can tell that they're friends. You can tell that they hang out offset. Candace Cameron plays a straight woman. She's like the center of the story, trying to get back into her life, to get back into working and dating and raising children now that she is a widow. Andrea Barber is Kimmy Gibbler, and she's still that Kimmy Gibbler. She's still quirky and weird and set in the 90s, but at the same time, she's a businesswoman, energetic, and has a positive outlook on things. And then you see moments where she's actually kind of tender and sad because she's a single mom and she just wants to be a good mom and she's trying to take care of Ramona, and now she's bringing Ramona into the situation of living in this house with these other people. And then you get Jodie Sweetin coming in as Stephanie, and she was the wild card because like Stephanie was just kind of the middle child. She had her one catchphrase, how rude. So you didn't know how she was going to turn out. So they actually did a pretty decent job in giving her a good storyline. She's the one that went out while everyone else was getting kids. She was like, no, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna see the world, I'm gonna hang out with celebrities, I'm gonna travel, I'm gonna be a DJ, and I'm actually gonna call myself DJ Tanner, which look, that was a dumb joke, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I laughed at it. I was like, I see, because she's Stephanie Tanner, and she calls herself DJ Tanner as a DJ, when her sister is actually DJ Tanner. I laughed. I ain't gonna lie. You know, whatever. Come at me, bro. When the show is centered around those three, it's actually pretty decent because it's not a, hey, remember Full House, this is the sequel show, but it's just, here's a story of three women who are at different points in their lives, who want to stay friends and who want to raise their children or help raise other people's children and just be there for each other and go through their lives together as the She-Wolf Pack. Ow! But of course people come to Fuller House wanting that nostalgia, and boy does it deliver. It gives you all the stuff you're wanting. Have mercy. You got it, dude. Cut it out. Quit it. Daddy Tanner cleaning stuff, because I don't think he had a catchphrase. But he liked to clean, particularly in the pilot episode. I think the pilot episode should have all that stuff because that's the stuff that people want. Not people who really want to watch the whole show, but just want to be like, what is this cast up to now? That first episode is where you do all that stuff. Is where you get out all the catchphrases, all the cast coming together with giant rounds of applause. Do we really know what the twin babies that Jesse and Rebecca had look like today? Only because they told us. But hey, whatever, they're there. Childhood. Rebecca, man, Lori Laughlin, damn. How did she get younger and finer as the years progress? Goodness gracious, man. Go ahead, Lori Laughlin. You do your thing, woman. Woo! It's good to see all the people there again. I don't think Full House really got like an official series finale, so I think this is kind of a nice thing for them to all come together and do this, and it looks like they're having fun. You get your how rude, you get your have mercies, you get your cut it out, quit it, you get Kimmy Gibbler's feet. Although I gotta say, man, Joey is still doing that woodchuck thing and those Popeye impressions years later. I mean, you know, the older it gets, the weirder it gets. Trust me, I'm going through those problems myself. I'm like, God dang it. I'm becoming Joey Gladstone. I don't like that. And of course, there are kids on this show. You gotta have those kids. And that's where I was gonna get worried. But you know what? The kids don't bother me. I'm not saying that they're amazing, but they don't bother me. They don't come from that like Nickelodeon school of acting. They're not all the time doing like this, oh my God, and overselling it. They're just being kids. Ramona, the girl that plays Ramona, who's Kimmy Gibbler's daughter, I think she is the best of the three. She seems like the most natural, but the kid that plays Jackson, he's fine. And then there's little Max. Holy chalupas! They have a baby on the show, right? Tommy, I think is the name of the baby. And you know, they're trying to make him like the new Michelle. Forget that little chubby baby. Max is the new Michelle because he does that thing that Michelle did on the old Full House where Michelle used to always like talk and you could tell that she's not really in the scene. Like she's just saying the line that someone fed her off camera and she almost doesn't even say it to the people she's talking to. She almost like looks at you, like looks at the audience to say the line. But you know what? You deliver it so well and you're so earnest with it. You put enthusiasm behind it and you put that cheese on your face and you're just like, all right, I'll let it pass. And that is totally Max. This kid, every single line he says, you can tell he is happy to be there. He is just like, puppies, holy chalupas, you're my brother. I get my own room. Whoopie-doo. You're just like, have fun on that set, kid. But even though this show is pretty much playing the same beats as Full House, it's also self-aware, which I thought was very interesting. Ramona talks about how she has to move in with the whitest family in America. For some reason, that caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting that kind of self-aware humor from Full House or Fuller House. So I actually laughed out loud and I was watching this in my hotel room because I was in Tennessee at EtsuCon. I laughed at that one joke so loud that the neighbor beside me knocked on the wall because apparently I woke them up from laughing at that joke and then I had to shut everything down because I was like, the last thing I need is to be a grown black man in Tennessee getting kicked out from his hotel room because he laughed too loud, disturbing the peace from watching an episode of Fuller House on Netflix. And then this show just gets into full-on Deadpool territory. They break the fourth wall so much in this show. The one that you probably have heard about is in the first episode. Stephanie asks where Michelle is, and the family is like, oh, she's off working on her fashion career. And the entire cast just looks at the camera for like 30 seconds, giving her the look like, why you ain't here? Everybody else came here. Even those twin babies that Jesse and Rebecca had that no one remembered, they here. Steve is here for some reason. Freaking Aladdin can show up, but you can't show up. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. They didn't say all that. They were just giving the stare, but that's what I thought they were saying in their head. There's a lot of jabs at Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. Like there was one point where Ramona was like, I want a new outfit from the Mary-Kate and Ashley line, and Kimmy Gibbler makes a reference about like, oh man, these dresses are so expensive. No wonder they don't have to act anymore. DJ was talking about how she used to change Michelle's diaper, and she's like, I changed it so much, it was like there were two of them. They even referenced other things that they have been in. Like Candace Cameron was on Dancing with the Stars and she's on The View, so they make references to that. John Stamos was on General Hospital and they make a reference to that. And a nice dig at the Alanis Morissette thing. They're in jokes, but you know what? If Deadpool can do it, why can't Fuller House? I particularly like the one that Jesse did where he talked about how they always hugged it out on the show, making fun of them hugging. He's like, yeah, every time we hugged, it's almost like you could hear violin music. And he even like kind of looks at the camera like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. They find every way they can and just throw these little jokes in and in-jokes for the people who love the show. I mean, this show is made for the fans, and maybe not even so much the hardcore, or they're hardcore Full House fans. If you remember just a little bit of Full House, you're gonna be able to follow this show just fine. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Everyone, of course, has been talking about the fact that some of these actresses have aged pretty well. Someone got a nice set of Olsen twins, if you might. Oh, it's terrible. This show confuses me because I watched these women when they were kids. I was a kid too. It's just kind of strange to be like, the last time I saw you, you were a kid. I was a kid. I was all like, whatever, this show. And then I come back years later, I'm like, damn. Everyone's talking about Jodie Sweetin, of course, but all of them, they look great. Candace Cameron looks about what I would have expected an adult Candace Cameron to look like. I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like, she looks good. I'm just saying that that's what I expected. Andrea Barber, man, she looks good. She still got that Kimmy Gibbler face. And if I'm right about this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that Andrea Barber hasn't really done another show or anything major since Full House. Like, this is her return. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. She took Kimmy Gibbler to a whole new level right there. And she is cute, man. She's just so, even in her opening sequence, she's all like, yeah, Yeah, Andrea, it's because you got my name in your name. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's the connection I have with you, Andrea Barber. Hi, Andrea. I'm Andre. What's up? How you doing? Nice to meet you. And then Jodie, dang. She just is like, all right, I got this body. You gonna see it? I'm gonna put it in every tight thing possible on the show. It's messing with my brain. Because it's like, you were little Stephanie Tanner. You were like, how rude. And now you're like, whoa. Hey, I wasn't ready for this. You gotta prepare me first, okay? You can't just go from Stephanie Tanner to Topanga in like a couple of days. Confusing. Andre, you talk bad about those critics, talking bad about Fuller House. You said all these good things about the show, so clearly it's the greatest show, right? Fuller House got some problems, y'all. The tone on Fuller House is just all over the place. You watch the show, first you're like, okay, this is like Full House. It looks exactly like Full House. And then all of a sudden, it throws some adult humor in there, like some risque stuff. I mean, there's talks of boobs, sexual humor, there's a masturbation joke, kind of risque for a Full House sequel. And then you're like, okay, this show's gonna be a little bit more adult. I can appreciate that. Then it just straight dive bombs into becoming a Disney Channel show. They go to the kids and it's just like classic Disney Channel, Nickelodeon sitcom mayhem. Wait a minute, you just made a joke about boobs and now I've got like, oh my God, I can't get a fire truck for my birthday party. Oh my God, I gotta sneak out of this school because I have no friends. And then it just becomes a drama out of nowhere. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of drama. You know, like we're gonna throw in some sad moments. We're gonna have some tears go, you know? So I'm like, all right, you're trying to prove that you got some range. I'm glad they want to try to add some drama to Fuller House, but it just gets weird when you have it surrounded by silliness. Best example I can give about this is there's an episode where Stephanie is getting closer to the kids. She's starting to bond with Max and even helps him out when he gets stage fright. She's talking to DJ one night. She's like, I'm so glad that I'm here and I get to play with the kids. And I'm so glad I get to learn your children better. And it's just been so much fun. I love being an aunt. And then she just starts crying. And DJ's like, what's wrong? And you're thinking like, oh, this makes me wanna, you know, maybe one day settle down or, you know, I'm just so glad I'm here for you, sis. Or just something like simple. And she just busts out, spoiler alert, I can't have kids. I can't have children. I've seen a doctor about it. I've tried everything. It's just not gonna happen. I can't have kids. And then a joke comes in afterwards and it's like, cue the Carly Rae Jepsen song, la, 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 la. No, wait. Hold up. You can't just have Fuller House, have these silly jokes, have cut it out. The kids are coming in, holy chalupas, Jay Money in the house. And then all of a sudden go, Stephanie can't have kids. And then go, now it's back to the show. No, you just hit a whole new level of television show territory. It's like if you went skiing and you took the big, giant, scary expert slope and then decided to do the little kitty bunny slope the rest of the time. I'm not saying it has to be this whole like very special episode. I commend Fuller House for wanting to put something deep into their show, but to just throw that into an episode and then be like, all right, see ya, and it's never mentioned again. You follow it up with, we're going to see a Mexican wrestling match. You know, it's just like, okay. All these cameos and catchphrases and all the nostalgia pandering. Fine, for the first episode, that's cool. Fuller House, unfortunately, brings it back for the second episode, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and the sixth, and the seventh. It keeps coming back. Even moments where they actually have side-by-side comparisons of the old show and the new show doing things almost the exact same. And what's weird about it is the main cast, particularly the three women, do such a really good job playing off of each other. So it actually ends up being a functional sitcom that then just gets stopped because, hey, we gotta have that cameo come in. Hey, we gotta make that catchphrase that everybody remembers. I mean, DJ says, oh my Lanta, I feel like every other sentence. When you get to the point where Uncle Joey is coming all the way from Las Vegas to San Francisco to babysit, you know you're trying a little too hard. You actually were doing okay. You didn't really need to keep dipping back into that nostalgia well because the stuff that you was bringing that was new was actually kind of interesting and entertaining. I mean, including that Stephanie reveal, like that kind of stuff. I was like, all right, this is now making me feel like I'm watching a sequel show, a new show, a continuation. Doing the same beats over and over again from Full House just to be like, hey, remember this? It just, after a while, it did get a little tiring. I mean, it's cute to see it the first couple times, but by like episode 12 or 13, you gotta be on your own at that point. When the second season comes out, because yes, it has been renewed for a second season. I hope that that kind of stuff kind of goes away. You girls, it's your show. Run with it. I don't remember that much about Steve because that was like later years of Full House, and that's when I kind of started tuning out. That's when I was more into like Family Matters. Steve seemed to be like the cool guy at school. I think he was like in a wrestling team or something like that. He seemed to be like a jock, and of course he ate all the time, but he seemed like a cool dude. Man, I don't know what happened, but they messed his character up in this. I kind of get what they were trying to do. He's playing that dude of like, hey, we had a thing in high school. We should try to rekindle that. They both got married. He got divorced. Her husband died. And like right episode 1, he's like, hey, you know, sorry your husband died. So what you doing tonight? It's like, whoa, dude. Everything after that is just him just like pushing and pushing and pushing to be like, hey, we should be back together again. I think it would have made more sense if they were married and they got divorced and then he's like, hey, I made my mistakes, let me get back with you. But for him to just come out of nowhere like, we should get together again. And by the way, I have your dog's daughter who's now having more dogs, bring up all these old things that we used to do. And it's just like, I don't know, man, just something about it just seemed odd to me. And then to make matters worse, DJ is choosing between him and this new guy, Matt, that she works with. And look, I'm a straight man. I like my ladies. Like I said, Jodie Sweetin, Andrea Barber. But let me just say, this dude, Matt, that they found, oh my God, this dude, heck yeah. He's tall, he's handsome, he's got a cool voice, he's got good chemistry with DJ. And she's married, right? Candace Cameron-Bure, right? The Blue, better watch out. Because this dude, he's like that jock, cool dude that you know that gets the ladies and you want to hate him, but you can't because he's so nice. You know, like you ever met that, like there's always like that douchey jock, but then there's that jock that's like, oh, he's actually cool. He'll like hang out with the nerds and stuff. He's still a ladies man. He still can get it, but he actually like is cool with everybody, so you can't hate on him. That's how this dude is. And to see him next to Steve, and there's moments when you literally do see them side by side and you're just like, seriously, DJ, you really gotta choose between these two? I think it's pretty obvious. That's like if they ever had an episode where Rebecca was trying to decide between Jesse and Joey. That's how I feel about this. I'm like, yeah, you dated Steve in high school, you had your fun, that's over. Matt, that's what you gotta get on, Matt. Get on the mat. Man, you know, as I joked earlier, they made a reference to Full House being kind of white. So Fuller House tries to be a little bit diverse, and sometimes it works. They have an episode about Mexican wrestling. They have an episode where they do a Bollywood style dance. Ramona coming in all the time talking about my people, and she speaks things in Spanish. It's more of humor than it is of heritage. Then of course they gotta have Jackson, the older son, talking about, yo, what's up? J Money in the house. I'm like, nope. Get out with that. Don't want it. We had Grandmaster B from Married with Children. We done. Macy Gray makes a cameo for some reason because, hey, Macy Gray. Kimmy Gibbler has this ex-husband named Fernando. Mexican Latin lover with the huge, thick accent, and he's always talking like this. It's like Ricky Ricardo got into a DNA merging accident with Esteban from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. You know what? You just doing your job, man. I'm not mad at you for getting work, and I hope you get more work, because you committed. You committed to that accent. Generating hits. Oh, Kimmy Gibbler. I am Fernando. I am how you say Fernando. Fuller House, I appreciate you trying to be diverse, and I think this will be the first time I'm ever gonna say this, but you know what? Just stay white. It's okay. We'll try to get diversity in everything else in Hollywood, but for this show, be as white as you want to be. It's probably better that way for all of us. Get Carly Rae Jepsen to keep singing everything on that show. You can't get much whiter than Carly Rae Jepsen. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. La, 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 whoa. Unless, of course, you need some brothers on that show, then, of course, you know, give me a call. I'm not really a brother, as many tell me, but you know what? I'll do. I'm Full House black. And then there's some things that Fuller House provides that's just so insane, you can't help but to like it. You want to see Kimmy Gibbler and DJ Tanner reenact a scene from Dirty Dancing? Got it. You want to see Kimmy Gibbler and Stephanie Tanner kiss? Fuller House provides. Or my personal favorite, do you want to see DJ Tanner fight in a Mexican wrestling match? Seriously, DJ Tanner fights in a Mexican wrestling match. Who would have thought? When you watched Full House 30 years ago, did you ever tell yourself, man, you know what's gonna happen in the future? We're gonna get a sequel to Full House where DJ Tanner fights in a Mexican wrestling match. You see her jumping and flipping people around, you're like, what the hell? What did this show become? I love you now. How can you not see that and go, I love you, Fuller House. Damn this show. I should hate it, but I can't. Everything about it, I should not like it. There's just something in my brain that goes, I probably shouldn't be watching this. But what's the next one? La 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 la. Whoa. I had fun with this show, man. Yeah, it's cheesy, it's goofy, it's dumb, it's nostalgia pandering, but damn it if I did not enjoy it while I watched it. I think some of your hearts are made of. What? If you like Full House, or if you even remotely remember Full House and that was a show that worked for you at some point in your life, then Fuller House is gonna be pretty much more of the same. Exactly what I was expecting it to be when I first heard about it. There's nothing that this show is bringing or should have brought that would make you think it's gonna be on a higher level than Full House. This is just something I have to keep saying about reboots. You cannot expect too much from them because they are simply there to be a continuation of something from your nostalgia. Doing the exact same stuff they did back in the 80s, and I didn't expect anything more or anything less from it. It is exactly what it's supposed to be. It's fast food. It's TV fast food. House of Cards, Orange is the New Black, it's all still there for you. Jessica Jones, Daredevil, all of it's still there for you. These are just 13 things on Netflix you don't have to watch if you're not interested. Soon to be 26, because that season 2 is coming, son! Full of House season 2, DJ Tanner! Gibbler style! This is probably the longest video ever about freaking Fuller House. So thank you for watching. If you stayed all the way to the end, I appreciate your loyalty. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Fuller House if you watched it, and what show, or specifically what sitcom, would you like to see as a returning series, but be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. I love you like a white cousin. I'm Audi 5000, chain chomp yum. Oh, I just did a catchphrase. I'm just as bad as them.